Good morning, everyone. Today we will be reviewing results from a recent immigration survey we conducted. The purpose of this survey was to determine the overall views Americans have when it comes to illegal immigration, because, as you know, President Trump is looking to begin building a wall along the border of Mexico as soon as possible. Luckily, according to the study, it looks like 91% of people support building the wall along the border of Mexico.
Excuse me, Mr. Spicer. We have a copy of the results in front of us, and 91% are against building a wall along the border of Mexico. Only 8% said they would support it.
Oh, my mistake. I was speaking with the people who were tabulating the responses, and they must have given me incorrect information. No matter. What is important is that we did receive a large percentage, actually a huge percentage, of people in favor of strengthening border security. You hear that, folks? A majority of Americans want stronger borders, more border patrol, more ICE agents around the border, maybe even getting some snipers out there to scare off people trying to get across the border. President Trump recently spoke about increasing the budget for Border Patrol officers, and these results overwhelmingly support that idea.
Actually, there's almost an even split among respondents. It looks like 44% agree, 51% disagree, and a small amount are undecided, with only 44% of the respondents agreeing. It appears a majority of Americans are not in agreement with that. How do you feel about that justifies spending more money to fund border security?
Are we reading the same paperwork here? I find these numbers difficult to believe. Are you guys joking? Did Obama put you up to this? The bottom line is that the citizens of this great country do not always know what is best for them. Maybe they read the questions wrong. I don't know. What I do know is that President Trump has promised to crack down on immigration, and that's exactly what he is going to do. This means deporting every single immigrant that is here illegally. Survey says people want immigrants out.
Yeah, 6.4% of the people.
What was that?
This survey indicates that only 6.4% of the Americans agree with your last statement. 89.4% of the respondents believe that the U.S. should create systems for current undocumented immigrants to become documented.
I have two words for you. Extreme vetting. President Trump is keeping Americans safe by ensuring that current illegal immigrants are vetted so that we know that they are not criminals. Because it is clear to President Trump and to me that there are many people coming into this country who are criminals, bringing their guns and the drugs, and destroying this country. Terrorists, folks. Terrorists are coming into this country in huge numbers, and we need to get them out. Look at France. Let refugees in, and you are actually letting in terrorists. This can't happen here. And the Trump administration is making sure it won't.
Given the years of long civil war happening in Syria and the U.S. recent action against President Assad, has President Trump reconsidered his stance on refugees coming into this country?
No, he has not. And it sounds like Americans agree. The survey shows that 82% of people agree that refugees should not be let into the U.S. So we are just going along with what the American people want.
Mr. Spicer, you read that wrong again. The recent survey shows that 82% of people think refugees from war-torn countries should be given a shelter, not be barred from entering the country. It seems like the American people have more empathy than President Trump when it comes to issues like Syria.
Empathy? President Trump has more empathy in his little finger than everyone in the room. Why do you think he stepped up to run this country when we were headed into the ground? He's going to make America great again. And that means using extreme vetting to ensure that we are keeping terrorists out. I said that before. Now I sound like a broken record.
On the topic of extreme vetting, what has President Trump decided to do knowing that only 16% of the respondents agree with a Muslim travel ban?
I can assure you that President Trump cares deeply about this country's safety and security. At this moment, he is hard at work amending this policy. I'm sure once he's finished, more Americans will support it. This is a top priority on President Trump's list.
We've heard that one before.
Get out. Are you from the Huffington Post? Just leave. Just kidding. I'm not allowed to kick anyone out anymore. Drop the attitude. Next question.
There seems to be a significant split among Americans on the enforcement of the United States immigration laws. 39% are in favor of increased enforcement, while 44% are against this idea. This could pose a challenge to President Trump as he attempts to carry out these new policies.
Yes, new challenges present themselves each day, and President Trump is prepared to handle them. I don't understand why you people criticize him so much. He's done more for this country in the first 100 days of his presidency than every other president combined. Immigration laws are important in making sure that our economy thrives because, as you all know, more illegals equals a worse economy and higher crime rates.
Actually, according to these survey results, 73% of Americans believe in undocumented immigrants are contributing positively to our economy, while only 17% disagree. It appears that Americans and Trump administration do not share the same views on these issues.
Well, one thing I know for certain is that almost 30% of people believe that illegal immigration leads to higher crime rates. That is 1/3 of Americans who think that crime has skyrocketed along with the number of illegals coming into this country.
Well, you finally got one right. Great job, Mr. Spicer. But also, I want to note that a majority of Americans agree that undocumented immigrants who have children within the United States should be allowed to stay in the country with their children. Has President Trump seen these statistics? And how will this help him shift his policies?
The president is the president. He's not shifting his policies. It is up to the American people to learn better and to understand the state that our country is in. Does President Trump want to deport every single illegal immigrant? Yes. Do many of them have children who are American citizens? Probably. That's just the way the cookie crumbles.
The president was elected to represent the majority of the Americans. That is democracy. So you are saying he is not going to represent the majority of Americans?
You keep saying majority, majority. First off, I am not sure you even know what that word means. Secondly, I would really like to know who actually took this survey after all. Where do we find out the demographics of our respondents?
Page 3 covers demographics. Almost 2/3 of respondents were moderate or very liberal. 20% were in the middle of the road, and 17% were moderate or very conservative. 75% of the respondents were under the age of 35 years old, and almost 2/3 were female.
Well, there you have it, folks. That is your problem. We had a majority of young, liberal females taking this survey. Women! Do they know what's going on in the world today? Probably not. They're probably too busy playing with Snapchat filters and doing their makeup to really understand this country the way President Trump does. The White House is going to resurvey the American people, focusing on getting more demographics of people who truly understand and want to make America great again. We will hold a follow-up press conference once we get those results. Thank you for your time. Goodbye.